All right, what it do? Yo. Zackerman, six days out. It's Sunday. So last I told you guys, we did that high day on Friday for legs, and woke up Saturday actually a pound lighter. So Nate decided to pull the cardio to 30 minutes instead of 40, and he added in 150 grams of rice to 2 meals. So now we have pretty much carbs in every meal again. Slowly starting to, try and lower fatigue and just see kind of how the body responds to the carbs. So Saturday we did shoulders and arms, and then did my cardio post-workout. That was yesterday. Today, my sleep last night was terrible. So I've been talking about how my sleep was really, really good. And it was for like a week and a half, maybe, about a week. About 6 to 8 hours. Last night, after like 3 hours, I was just like wide awake, tossing and turning, sweating my balls off. I don't know if it's the temperature of my house, the extra carbs, trend, what. I'm not really worried about it, except for like when I get my tan. I'm not trying to sweat my tan off. So, try to figure that out. Maybe the body will get used to the carbs and, kind of balance out a little bit, not really do that at night as much. But the sleep thing is weird because it's like, for me, I get in my head when it's not working, like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to lose weight now, and I need to sleep. And then you start getting paranoid, like, I'm not going to be able to sleep. So I just really took a KSM, whatever, started praying, relaxing my mind, and just laid there. I even threw like a Zen in middle of the night, and ended up being able to relax enough to kind of fall back asleep and grind out another couple hours of tossing and turning. So really hope that can be good this week. Also start thinking a lot more about like irrational stuff in the middle of the night, like the show and just like stuff that I don't need to be thinking about. My mind starts going too busy. But anyways, woke up today, only up maybe like call it a little under a pound after the higher food and shit sleep. So I'm okay with that. We'll see. I think the look looks good. We'll see what Nate says, and if there's any changes. I don't anticipate any today, maybe tomorrow. But we got back day today. Edgar's got a soccer game this morning. And then just try and chill out and watch some football and relax. The weekends are a bit harder for me because the schedules are not as routine. So it causes me to like think more on my feet as far as planning and a little more anxiety. But looking forward to a chill week. I took a couple days off from work, and I don't really have a whole lot on my plate, so should be a good peak week. And we'll talk about what I got, but anyways, yeah, that's where we're at. That's the update. So keep it going. Just trying to stay present in each day. It gets harder and harder the closer you get. Just starting to anticipate more, but just trying to keep it positive. Yo. 5 days out, Monday, from hurricane. Checked in with Nate this morning. My weight was pretty much flat after we increased food over the past 2 days. After that nice little rice in every meal, 150 grams of rice in each meal. Cardio to 30. weight basically flat at like 231. I was up to like 232, 231. Now right there, yeah, 231. So today he sprinkled in even more carbs. He took rice to 200 and cream of rice to 80 from 60. And cardio's still 30. My legs are wrecked from Friday's leg day. And so what I've been doing, what I did today and what I'll see about is just like, I feel like my legs are a little fresher once I've had a meal, done some like walking, a little better to do the stairs. So I'm kind of putting my cardio around training, and I'm doing like a morning, like 20-30 minute walk just to get some blood going, get things moving. I'm also sleeping in as much as I possibly can just to help with like rest, recovery, fatigue, not having to get up, 5 a.m., go do cardio and all that, and taking the ashwagandha to help sleep last night really made a big difference. And so just kind of trying to take the mornings really, really slow. I also been pushing my meals back pretty good, so that helps with that. And so doing that morning walk, hitting my cardio kind of more around training, and the training's not like as crazy this week, so it kind of works out. And then we'll try to do, even more kind of digestion walks later in the day, just with the other food, like, 10 minutes around the block or something a couple times. See if I can keep up with that. And so that's the change. Really excited to see kind of what happens to the physique as we add food back in. And that's pretty much all we got as far as an update. Keep you posted if anything else changes. Also, forgot to say, we're training push today, so I'm gonna basically hit pretty much straight sets of flies, flat press, high incline press, more flies, do some tricep push downs, laterals, and then more like tricep. And also we're keeping GH in. We kept it in this last show. Pretty much just run the 5 units all the way in. Trying to think what else. I tanned today. Edgar's soccer practice got canceled tonight, so that's great because that's like an hour and a half in the evening where it's just like miserable to sit in the car and wait around and do nothing. So that's pretty cool. God's looking out for us this week. And it should be a relatively chill week. Probably going to link up with Nate either tomorrow or the next day just so he can get a look at me. Keep you posted on that. And just so much excitement towards the end of this week that's going to be coming. And just can't wait for it, really. But also just, know how it feels like you're waiting around so long and then it happens and then it's like, oh my gosh, where'd that go? So really just trying to soak up these last several days. The weather's gotten super nice out here, so it's going to make for some really nice walks outside, like I was saying. And slowly can feel a little bit of the fatigue kind of coming off as the food goes up, and just mentally kind of getting focused to go have some fun and compete. That's where we're at. All right, what it do? 3 days out, Wednesday, and checked in today. There was no change yesterday, still just 30 minutes cardio. Carbs are at 320. We did a leg day last leg day yesterday, just like a touch up. Went pretty good, but didn't destroy them. And then today, woke up pretty much weight the same, was up 0.2 to 233.2. And Nate added like a banana and then he added a apple or orange and then swapped
one of my egg white meals for beef. And so we're going to run that today. We're going to hit a back day. And then I'm about to go tan for the last time at the tanning bed. And I'm going to actually put my posing routine song in. I figured out what I'm going to do. So that'll be cool. And then I got Marco coming over tonight. Just going to do one kind of full body, just rub down, make sure everything's loose and feeling fresh. We'll do an upper body pump tomorrow and see what kind of changes are made to the plan. That'll be in peak week part 2 along with Friday's kind of shenanigans. But all in all, today's been solid, just a chill day, knocked out some work. It's really nice just being able to work from home and like enjoying my job. It's helped me like pass time and feel like accomplished, getting stuff done. And like otherwise, I'd just be sitting around kind of waiting, to eat or waiting for, or thinking about how I feel. And, Molly's been in the office a lot this week. And then the kids have like activities at night, which like I want to go to, but at the same time I don't, because I don't like being like out and not, having my meals and whatnot, and just, I don't know. So, but the food, so now we're at like what, 350 carb with kind of that added, there. And I'd be curious if we like pull back a little bit tomorrow, or probably just depends on the look and the weight. But yeah, otherwise, Nate saw me yesterday and we posed, and he said, looks like the carbs are kind of sticking in the right places, looking fuller, fresher, and still just as lean. So that's cool. He told me a little bit about what he's thinking as far as later this week, but we'll get to that. And he was trying to help me tweak my front double just to make my waist look a little smaller, kind of with like a twist and stuff, which would be cool if I could hit, but I'm just like too close to the show, and like it's all awkward and I'm gonna be overthinking it. And so I don't know that I'm gonna make that change. But I did notice kind of in the last overall, waist does look a little bit up and down and blocky. Maybe partly too because, just getting tired from posing, that, I can't pull up as high or hold it as long, it's sucked in. But it is what it is, But otherwise, trying to think if there's anything else. Sleep last night was a little bit worse. Just had a lot of things on my mind, like exciting things, like thinking about, this coming weekend and just all the stuff I want to make sure to capture and do. And just, each day you get a little closer. It feels like it's like, all right, it's going to be here before we know it. But was able to kind of fall back asleep after a couple hours and get some good sleep. So that's been nice. And then just Molly being able to kind of do the morning routine with the kids, allowing me to not have to go do my cardio like super early to get back home. Definitely takes the pressure off of like needing to make sure I fall asleep now because I'm gonna have to get up. So that's been really nice. She's been crushing it and doesn't get enough kind of credit. But looking forward to these next couple days, being able to spend them with her and Nate and just peaking and just getting excited. We worked so long to get to this show, which is a local one. It's going to be a lot of family and people. So looking forward to that and more to come. But this is the end of kind of peak week part 1. Really, definitely a little bit easier this week versus the first show, where we kind of kept things, food still pretty low. We were kind of digging all the way in. Really didn't start feeding up until Friday that day. So feeling a little bit better, more confident, fresher. And so, yeah, just looking forward to a totally different experience with this one and then even the next one. But all in all, doing some bodybuilding. It is total. One thing I will say is it's totally different when you get to like switch up your environment and go to like an Airbnb and like, because if we left for the Airbnb, like let's say today on Wednesday, I would feel like, all right, it's here, we're doing it, we're starting and everything's going. And it's a bit different when you're kind of sitting at home and it's a local show and you don't have to travel, because you're pretty much, I don't leave the house except for going to the gym in a normal, week, whether it's prep or not. And so with peak week 2, it's like, sitting around, nothing, no environment change, but just taking off work tomorrow and the next day and having some different people around will kind of hopefully scratch that itch. And we'll try to, mix some things up. Maybe like spend some time outside. The weather's beautiful, or, put on some more music, or, different bodybuilding podcasts, try to like keep the vibes, positive and stuff. But it's really going to be here before we know it. Time's definitely picking up now. So pretty hyped.